And I've pulled myself out my sickbed to be here today, partly because this is a minister I have not yet challenged on the two-child limit and the rape clause, so he deserves a fair go on this as well, I would say, as a new minister. Now, members earlier have mentioned that the sort of false premise that people in work should face, people on benefits should face the same choices as those supporting themselves through benefits. But this fails to recognise, completely fails to recognise, Mr Gapes, that 70% of families on tax credits are actually working, and that the cuts made are actually making them poorer and putting them into poverty, even though they are in work. They just cannot earn enough to make ends meet, Mr Gapes. And this is absolutely despicable. They are trapped and they cannot do anything about it, and it is driving children into poverty. CPAG estimate that 10% more children will go into poverty just as a result of the two-child limit alone, which is absolutely despicable. And through my own constituency work, I've found that this has had an adverse impact also on uptake of Healthy Start, because that is claimed through the child tax credit system. Third children are not getting the Healthy Start entitlement that they should do. So there's food literally being taken out of the mouths of children, Mr Gapes, because of this government's incompetent policy. It is also, through the EHRC report which came out last week, been evidenced properly that this is having a disproportionate effect of those on ethnic minorities, which the government has failed to acknowledge all the way down the line with this. 3/4 of Pakistani families, Mr Gapes, are losing out as a result of the changes to the two-child limit. Bangladeshi families will lose out by around £2,150. Pakistani families will lose out by £1,900. This is absolutely unacceptable, Mr Gapes, that this is having this impact. But I want to talk particularly about the rape clause, because this is an issue I've been campaigning on since 2015. And the government is embarrassed by this policy. We know that they're embarrassed by this policy, because they've refused scrutiny on it on every single occasion. They were forced into doing a consultation on this. People put in their responses to the consultation. They said how unacceptable it was. And because the government knew that, and knew that they couldn't avoid that, they snuck out the results of the consultation on the day of Trump's inauguration. They knew the eyes of the world would be elsewhere. They are thoroughly embarrassed by this policy, and they have not accounted for it. They have ducked scrutiny on it on every single occasion. And they have failed to acknowledge the particular situation for women in Northern Ireland, Mr Gapes. Because women in Northern Ireland, if they make a claim under the non-consensual sex exemption, or the rape clause, as I would prefer to call it, because that's what it is, they face being criminalised under the Criminal Law Act in Northern Ireland if they even make a claim. And this is evidenced in the form that they have to fill in, which says, please be aware in Northern Ireland, if the third party knows or believes that a relevant offence such as rape has been committed, the third party, this is the person who verifies the claim, will normally have a duty to inform the police of any information that is likely to secure of being material assistance in securing the apprehension, prosecution or conviction of someone for that offence. No woman in Northern Ireland wants to put themselves through that, Mr Gapes. It is absolutely appalling, and the government have failed on every occasion to account for this. It is unacceptable that women have to fill in a form that says, I believe the non-consensual exception applies to my child, that they have to fill in their child's name on a form to say that child was born as the result of rape. The Minister should be thoroughly embarrassed about this. And I have cross-party support against this policy, as well as support from the Scottish Government, COSLA, the BMA, the RCN, a whole wheen of women's groups, charities and trade unions. The Government still has time to do something about this policy. This policy has gone to judicial review. If the judicial review finds in favour of the people who have brought it, will the Government accept that? Will the Government not appeal it? Because I think the Government is embarrassed and the Government should do something about it.